Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is a little bit different. I've been working with polymer clay for the last few videos, but today we're going to be working with resin. It's epoxy resin, and it has two parts, a part A and a part B, and I'm going to show you my process because I have a little bit, I had a little bit left of an old bottle, and I wanted to use that up and before I open my new bottle. So this tutorial is for a trinket tray. A trinket tray is a cute little tray that you use on your vanity. You could put your little items on it, like your earrings or your change or lipstick. It's just a cute addition to your vanity tray or your vanity that you use in the morning or at nighttime or whatever to put on your makeup. Yeah, so that's what that is. And this is a little bit special because I'm going to be customizing this tray in this video. So this is a good video for, if you want to make some personalized Christmas gifts, or if you want to purchase one from my website. I make them at Adorned by Cherice. I make all handmade items. But yeah, that's what this tutorial is about. So if you would like to learn how to use epoxy resin in molds and to use mica powder, stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to get started here. I have on my protective gloves, and I'm also wearing a mask and working in a well ventilated area. And I'm using Counterculture DIY artist resin. This comes in two parts, a part A and a part B. And yeah, so these are the two parts, and this is medium viscosity, which doesn't produce too many bubbles when mixing. It does produce bubbles, but not too many. I purchased this mold from Amazon, and yeah, you can get yours from Amazon as well. And I'm using wooden stirring sticks to stir my resin, and you want to make sure you stir your resin very well to be sure it's completely mixed and get a hard cure. I'm using Pearl-Ex powders. These two colors are Brilliant Gold and Micro Pearl, which is, yeah, two cute colors that I think will go pretty nice together, but we'll see how that turns out later in the video. And I have my duct tape. Whenever you're using a mold, a silicone mold, duct tape is a very nice addition to remove any debris that's stuck to your mold, and you could just go ahead and rub that in there, not too hard, but just get it to get that dust or any leftover pieces of resin out of the mold. I also have my heat gun. I received this. I purchased it from Amazon, and this will help you pop bubbles. It's perfect because it doesn't burn the mold as long as you keep it moving and it's not too hot, so I love that. I'm using wax paper over my work surface because I kind of spill resin a lot, so I want to make sure I don't have too much to clean up. Just take that wax paper up and throw it in the trash so I don't have to do too much cleaning of my marble slab I have down here for decorative purposes. Okay, so as you can see, my hardener turned yellow. This resin is a year old, but I read that as long as not as long as, but if you have yellow hardener, it should mix clear and it should still harden pretty well. So we're going to test that out today as well. I have a new bottle, so this is the last bit of my old bottle I just want to use up, and we'll see if that clears up. Alright, so I mixed my resins together, my two parts, and whenever you're using resin, make sure you use the instructions for your particular resin. And I popped the bubbles, and now I'm going to stir in some of these mica powders. I'm going to stir these into the resins to color them. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pour a clear coat of resin into my tray. As you can see, it did not mix clear It still has that yellow tint to it, but we will continue on with our project and see how it cures in the end. So yeah, so I'm pouring this one layer, and then I'm going to pour out my two colors, the brilliant gold and the micro pearl, and I'll show you that in a second. Some of those bubbles, I popped some of those bubbles. Now I'm going to use my toothpick to go around the edge just to be sure that there's no bubbles around the edge of my tray that will cause any issues once it's curing. And I don't scrape it too hard because silicone molds are kind of sensitive. You don't want to scrape it or burn it or anything like that. So that's what I'm doing here. Just popping some bubbles. I'm using my heat gun and my toothpicks. Okay, now I have my wooden stick and I have a little bit of my micro pearl resin, and I'm just drawing a line up and down, squiggly lines up and down. I added a little bit of extra mica powder because it was kind of light. So I added a little bit more of each to my resin, and I'm just going one after the other with each color. This started to look like a goldfish to me. It looks so funny. But yeah, I just continued to spread each color one after the other, and then I went over the edges as well, the edges of the tray. Okay, then I popped some bubbles and it moved the resin around a little bit, and I liked the way that looked. So I took my toothpick and I swirled them around, and I just continued to sit there for a little bit to see if any more bubbles came to the top, and I popped those with my heat gun. Once you're done popping all the bubbles, go ahead and cover your project so that it doesn't, have any dust or anything fly into it while it's curing, and leave that for 12 hours. Next, I have my Cricut Joy, and I printed out my name in vinyl, in white vinyl. So we're going to go ahead and demold this and add our vinyl decal. Okay, once your resin is cured, remove your resin from the mold and be very careful. Go around the mold to loosen it up and get some air in there. Do not just rip it out, because you will rip your mold and then you would have wasted your money. So just be careful when you're removing your project from the mold. Okay, so this is how it looked when I demolded it. It looks pretty good to me. I've been looking at it and it looks clear. It doesn't look like it's yellow anymore. So let me know what you think. Does it look yellow to you? I think it looks pretty clear. But yeah, I believe that that technique I used was perfect, because drizzling it over the bottom like that, it made it's like a little splash effect. It looks kind of cool. So yeah, I like that. I like the way it came out. So yeah, I'm trying to show you the details, but I also have a close-up image at the end of the video. So yeah, let's go ahead and put on our vinyl decal now. Okay, I have my vinyl cut out here. You can't see it because it's white, but I have my transfer tape, my Cricut scraper, and my weeding tool ready to go. And what I'm going to do is clean off the top of this tray. I mean, it's pretty clean because it was just in the mold, but just to be safe, I wipe it off with alcohol so that I can have the cleanest surface to stick my vinyl down to. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start weeding my name out of this white vinyl. It was kind of difficult. I don't know, maybe it was the vinyl, but it kind of stretched my letters a little bit. So I guess I have to be more careful next time. And yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and get that done. Okay, I'm all done weeding. So I have my transfer tape here, and I'm just going to go ahead and scrape it down onto this so that it can be attached very well to my transfer tape. And yeah, so just go ahead and try to get those letters all scraped down. Is that the right terminology? I don't know, but scrape it back and forth, squeegee it. And I also do the back. I'm very particular about the way I do this because there's been so many times where I've done this and it's still not on the transfer tape, and then it just gets me so irritated. So I do a little bit extra on this part. Okay, so I got it all on the tape. It's all good. See how easy that was? All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and try to line this up as perfectly as I can. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm lining it up on my tray, and I think it looks pretty cute. Okay, once I have it on there, I squeegee it again so that it can stick down to the tray. All right, so I was so extra that tape was really stuck down, so at least I know it's on there, you know. So yeah, you just pull it off nice and slow just to be sure none of your letters come up, but they shouldn't come up. It's clean surface, and I squeegeed it pretty good. So yeah, it came out pretty nice. Now, the next thing we're going to do is get some resin, and we're going to clear coat the top of this so that your vinyl is protected and you have a nice surface to put all of your things on. You can also use this as a coaster, because counterculture, well, it depends on your resin. Counterculture DIY, their resin is heat resistant up into I believe about 400 degrees. So I'm pretty sure your coffee isn't going to be that hot. So yeah, you could use this as a coaster as well. So I'm going to go ahead and clear coat the top of this. Okay, I just looked it up, and this is heat resistant up to 400 degrees. I'm sorry, 500 degrees. So yeah, you could use this as a coaster for your coffee or your tea, or of course a cold drink. But yeah, this is my new bottle, and you can see it's crystal clear. So yeah, it's not yellow at all. That older bottle, I've had it for a while, so that's why it was yellow. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move this back and forth. I'm sorry, I'm out of the frame. I didn't even realize it. But yeah, once I poured the top coat, it's a very thin coat because this has a lip, so I didn't want to cover that whole space in with resin. So I'm just spreading it out just like this and adding that clear coat just to seal that vinyl in. Okay, once I went ahead and covered that as good as I wanted to, I popped some of the bubbles just to be sure that it was clear, and then I let it cure for 12 hours. Counterculture DIY resin cures in 24 hours, but this cured pretty quickly, but I'm just going to leave it alone. And yeah, that's it. This is my end result. I'm so happy with it. You can see the sun hit it here. It's just so pretty. It sparkles in the sunlight, and I just love it. And yeah, my name is Cherice, so that's why I put Cherice on there, obviously. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be making new tutorials very soon. I'm trying to keep the momentum on my channel going. And also follow me on Instagram at Adorned by Cherice, and visit my website, adornedbycherice.com. I'll see you guys later. Bye.